fondest memory? Going all the way back, I would say my little like 3-wheel tricycle bike. You know what I'm saying? A Ninja Turtle jump. I had got that jump when I was a kid, man. Yeah, that jump was dope. You know what I'm saying? That was it was something special. You know what I'm saying? I appreciated it. I fell in love with the Ninja Turtles, but I never liked Master Splinter. I never liked him. I never liked him, bro. I feel like, why is he here? He's not a turtle. I just didn't relate to him. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. That's real. Like, I just never ever liked him, bro. I didn't like that sticky hair. I didn't like none of it. You know what I'm saying? The whiskers. None of it set right with me.
You kicking knowledge. It don't even make sense.
Word, bro. Like, you know, when you get the, hey, man, I'm talking, when you get to going back on stuff and you realize where you at, you get to understanding things. Know what I'm saying? Like, that's real talk.
But it never made sense.
But it never made sense. I'm like, bro, you got all these turtles. Why is this one rat right here? I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I was just never with it.
Alright, that's alright.
Yeah, all facts, man.
So around what age you remember you think that was?
Man, I was like 3 or 4. 3, 4, 5. Like, I was young. Like a baby.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what all my people call me, Baby Al. That's all they used to say. Baby Al, Baby Al, Baby Al. Good memories, though. Know what I'm saying? But those was them times.
So what type of kid was you in elementary school?
Problem child. Like, I always liked school because, you know, the girls and me being the bad boy and all of that. Like, I always loved it because it brought attention. You know what I'm saying? I was seeking attention, everything I did. You know what I'm saying? Pulling fire alarms. You know how you make the little clay, put it in the microwave and then make it hard? And I smacked dude in the head with that in like the 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I was bad, bro. I was just bad, man. And no matter how bad I got whooped, I just didn't care. Know what I'm saying? It was a thing where, all right, man, you gonna beat me. All right, now I know what to expect. So if I'm really willing to take that tail whipping, I'm just gonna take it. Know what I'm saying? Like, behind them liking me more, I'm gonna take that jump. Know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, all right, I'm gonna beat them up. I'm gonna tell my teacher shut up. All I'm gonna get is a whooping. I know how it feel. I'm gonna cry for about 10 minutes and then it's over. Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what? You the youngest of 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I got 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Fact.
So how was it? How was it being the youngest?
It's the best. Know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my mama is the baby, so she can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the best though. Like, me and my brothers and sisters, we got a certain bond. You know what I'm saying? Like, every brothers and sisters got their type of bond, but we got a certain bond of where, like, even when we far away, we close. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it wrong, as life went on, you know, we all go our ways, whatever. We stay in contact. We got the little group family thing or whatever, chat thing, but it's like we all got our lives, but we try to stay in contact on that personal level. You know what I'm saying? And I hold that dear now, you know? During my incarceration, I went years without talking to certain people. You know what I'm saying? And that's because my mind frame was what it was. I really didn't care about a lot of relationships. I didn't value them. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt on the inside, so it reflected on the outside. And I got to a point where I wasn't willing to sacrifice how I felt to make a person comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't willing to do it. So I tapped in on that level where if I felt like our relationship wasn't necessary, I don't want nothing to do with you. Or if I felt like you wasn't living by certain codes that I live by, I didn't want nothing to do with you.
That's at an early age, before you even left the house.
That's before I left the house, though. That's before that.
That's all right.
So the friends that I came into contact with, before I called them my friend, like it wasn't easy to be my friend. You had to be trained a certain way. I feel like if you can't fight, if you ain't gonna shoot, if you ain't gonna do all that, you ain't my friend, because I know how I'm gonna go. Know what I'm saying? If you ain't willing to go like that, then we ain't friends. Yeah, your character didn't matter. Well, your character was everything, but you had to be trained to go. If you wasn't trained to go, you're not my friend.
How this how you was in middle school and high school?
Man, I got like this like in elementary school, 4th grade, 5th grade. I was locked in. Like everybody that was around me was pretty much like me. It was just I was the one. Like I'm a set it off every time.
I had to specify for other people because this sound like a 19, 20-year-old explaining it. So I had to understand it because you threw me for a loop for a second.
Nah, that's like 9, 10 years old. I had made up in my mind like I'm gonna be the biggest drug dealer in the world, or I'm gonna rob more people than anybody that ever robbed people. I used to look up people like the mob individuals. You got Lucky Luciano, you got the Gambino family, you got all the crime bosses. I used to study them. Like I watch their movies when I'm 11, 12 years old. I'm watching their movies. How they used to rob the banks, jump in the side of the car, hang off the car, shoot at the police, all that. I'm like, okay, this what they was doing in their era. Why we can't do it in my era? Know what I'm saying? Like this was going on. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was locked in. You know what I'm saying?
So by middle school, what's up with you then? If you're 9 and 10, by the time you get to middle school, what?
Middle school, I had made my decision what I was gonna be. All I wanted was the money, by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So it went to laying people down, selling drugs. Robbing anybody. Robbing anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter. You got $35. I got $50. I'm looking at it like your 35 gonna make me have 85. Let me get it. It wasn't even a question. It was you got some money and I want it. Period.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how grown men think when they back against the wall. That's crazy. And you thinking like that.
That's childish. Like that's extremely immature. Like going back, looking at it, I had no guidance. Like my guidance was drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? My guidance was individuals, jack boys. My guidance was like the streets.
So could you say at that time, of course you 12, 11 years old, 13. Could you say, is it safe to say you ain't know your worth at that time?
Absolutely. I feel like I let people put what they felt like they was worth in my head, and it made me think what I was worth because of what I seen them.
And what was that?
Nothing. Like.
It had to been something.
Yeah, no, what I mean, nothing now I could say, no, but in that moment, it was everything. You got the weed, you got a couple racks, you got a car.
For a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old nowadays, that's the same mentality they got. Now what can you think how your mentality was? What is that? What you want at that time?
Everything. Anything but poor. You know, you develop, when you come from poverty, me personally, I embrace my fear of it. But I embraced it in the wrong way to the point where I was willing to put pain on anybody that can get me out of it. That's not the way to do it.
Hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people, but that's an excuse. Hurt people don't justify you hurting people, because you cannot forget, heal people. That part, right? So you take the pain, yeah, indeed, but that don't justify you hurting nobody, right? It perpetuates the thought process when you keep telling somebody that hurt people. It perpetuates the thought process. Yes, it's a fact, so hurt people, but don't forget to come behind that with heal people.
They justify the point.
Absolutely. We ain't doing that. We ain't gonna do that. It becomes an excuse for the pain that you done caused. Right?
You 12 though. Ain't no 12 or 13-year-old gonna be able to fathom none of this. Once you learn one thing, you only gonna be able to learn one thing. It takes time for you to.
I mean,
to actually, you know, it's hard for you to do that. If you 12, 13 years old and you've been wanting to do this and you learned this for 3-4 years, that's like you've been playing sports. You played sports around that time, didn't you?
I did. Football.
And which one did you do more?
What you mean?
Was you in the streets more? Did you play football,
in the streets,
basketball more?
In the streets.
So you know that's exactly what I'm saying. So that's where your energy was going towards. You know, so you got better at that than playing other sports. And
I had like, I think I did the sports thing because it was something to do.
Being good.
Yeah, being good. I tried to be good and it wasn't me. Like I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it wrong. I had fun when we played football, but that wasn't me. I would have rather pull a mask down and get to it. Like that's just what that's the lane I had tapped into. You know, I was convinced that I was that person. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm telling myself that every morning when I put my chain on, when I put my J's on, I put my forces on, I tell myself, yeah, man, I'm like that.
So in hindsight, what do you think now as a grown man, what do you think could have made you want to play sports more or read books more? Because you like to read, you said.
Yeah.
What could have made you want to do those things more?
When I recognize true power. Like it's not knowledge, it's power. It's the application of knowledge, it's power. But you can't apply something you don't know.
Well, what do you think will alter that 12, 13-year-old from stop from having that attitude? From taking that next trip? Over the next 4 or 5 years, that 12, 13-year-old Al?
Yeah.
By the time he's 16 and he get 80, 100 years, what do you think can change that? Would it be reading books, playing sports, or how can you alter that? What would you tell yourself? What would you tell somebody else? Because you can't tell yourself that. We can't even. We not even gonna think about old times. What you telling somebody else?
If I could talk to a kid right now that's making a decision as to do he want to go with the streets or do he want to play a sport or anything other than the streets, I would tell him this. If you choose to follow the streets, you know what come with it. You know the rules of engagement. You sign yourself up for death or you sign yourself up for the penitentiary. That is a fact. It's no other way out. It's 2 doors to the streets. That's it. There's no other exits. I broke the code of the streets the moment I realized the streets didn't exist. Right? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to make people believe he did not exist or he wasn't coming in that form. The streets are identical to that. If you convince me that you do not exist or it is another way out other than the 2 I just told you, you're going to lock into that channel thinking that's what it is. The whole time you believe in something that's not real. Right? When a man that's real is up against something that's unreal, you already lost. Truth be told, you're up against nothing but you. That's a fact. So for me, it's like this. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It all comes back to the decisions you're making. You can put yourself in a position to win and be all right in 50 years, or you can not care and die at 19, die at 14, die at 12. Yeah, it's literally up to you at this point.